You rent an apartment, whatever it might be, you've got to have these in your living space, in your home. This is from First Alert. We know that company, they're one of the world's premier companies when it comes to fire safety. It's a 3-pack with a 10-year lifespan on the batteries of the micro smoke alarms. You get all 3 of these, and we have the best value anywhere, including any retail outlet that you go into. Got a lot to get into about this one, and Bill joins me to discuss it. But really, this isn't should you, it's you must.
Definitely. I mean, it's required. When you build a home, move into a home, every home has a smoke detector, but how old is it? How effective is it? How big is it? And that's really what First Alert's done. So this is actually a First Alert smoke detector, but it required batteries and replacement. So what they did is they made it more compact, more accurate, more efficient on our wall space, in our living space, but also, as Suzanne said, a 10-year battery life. I put this on the wall or on the ceiling today. I don't have to get up and replace it until 2029. And what am I walking away with? I'm walking away with something that's more effective, and the thing is louder than what we might have. And I want you to hear this. It's an 85 decibel alarm. It has a sweeping tone, not just something monotone, because you know, sometimes we lose our hearing, we hear at different levels, but listen to this.
Oh, that's great. Like in a hotel. Exactly,
right? Yeah. And the thing is, the sooner we can hear it, whether it's in the basement, in the attic, in the family room, or down the hall, the sooner we can get out of the house. So what First Alert has done is they've made them smaller, but more compact and more powerful. They can go on any wall, because you know, it's required that we have these. Required, not a luxury, like you saw the little wall sconce, that's cute, but you notice this is required to keep us safe, to keep us protected, and to protect our valuables. I mean, how many of us have a smoke detector on the wall and we replace the batteries? But how effective is it? Giving us false positives, we open up the bathroom door and you get the steam, and that sets it off. These have been tested to be more accurate, so we do get those less, we become complacent, where it's like, oh, we hear the smoke detector go off, it's like, just ignore it. You won't ignore these. And I just want to remind you, the US Fire Administration, they say that we need to have one of these, not just in every floor of our house, but outside every living space, and that's really where it starts to add up. And when you start adding up, having one of these outside, I mean, the US Fire Administration right here recommends smoke detectors on every floor in our home, outside of every bedroom, outside of the hallways. I mean, imagine you have 3 bedrooms in the hallway. You have to have 3 of these? Right. And that's where my mom...
And these, quite frankly, look how ugly these are. These are the old-fashioned style, and they're really hard to deal with. You know, you're always breaking it, trying to open them up to replace the battery, and you have to get in there a lot, and it's just a pain. Look how compact this is. What I like, Bill, is you get max protection in a really miniature footprint. To me, that's why I think this one is so awesome. And I think a lot of times when you see these big ones, they're just darn ugly on the wall.
No joke. I've been at my mom's house. She's like, oh, I want to put a frame there. I want to put a picture there. She's like, just take that off the wall. I'm like, no, Mom, we're not going to take that off the wall, because, you know, sometimes we don't get to pick where these go. I watched a home decorating show, and no joke, they painted one of these. Huge no-no, because how long has this been on the wall in your apartment or in the condo? Did it come with the house you bought? Do you know these units themselves, you can replace the battery all the time, but the effectiveness has about a 10-year lifespan. So even after 10 years, you're supposed to replace the unit.
Oh, wow.
So upgrade, get a smaller one, get one that's more accurate, and that you don't have to worry about the batteries for 10 years. Because this is what happens. How many times have you woken up in the middle of the night, the chirp, or you're like, where's it coming from? Is it upstairs? Is it downstairs? I hear it, and it's waking you up, and then we take out the battery, and then we don't replace it right away. Do you know,
or we never replace it, be honest, you know.
And that's actually shocking. Do you know 3 out of 5 fatalities in a home fire are blamed on faulty smoke detectors?
No kidding.
If you have a smoke detector that is working, that is loud enough that you can hear, that you don't have to worry about, you are more likely to survive, which is what we want. And the thing is, we take them off the wall because we don't want to go do this year after year or every 6 months to replace the batteries and make sure it works, because that was the standard. And guess what? First Alert has done themselves one better, because they are a huge leader in fire safety. So instead of having to worry about the batteries all the time, they're giving us this. And if you are looking online for other ones out there because they look similar, make sure you're comparing apples to apples and getting the one with the 10-year battery. I even told Suzanne.
And the battery's in there. It's a lithium battery. And that's so it's ready to go right when you get it at home.
It's all right here, and you put it on the wall. Even on the thing, the packaging, they say no more chirping, which is huge peace of mind. And I was telling Suzanne, I was out in California and I had to replace my smoke detector. Cities are now even requiring that you have a 10-year battery, because we've all been there where we don't replace the battery and then we are not protected. So this is a huge protection, but it's huge peace of mind. This is another alarming statistic I heard about. On average, we used to have about 17 minutes to get out of our home. Now we have 3. Because we have less real woods and more synthetics, and they're just more flammable.
Oh,
so we want
no
to
way.
hear this alarm that much faster. Remember, I'm gonna set it off. It's not gonna be a flat tone. It has a high, it has a low. So you know, your husband probably hears higher pitches and you hear lower pitches or whatever. You're gonna hear that.
That's
And the cool part about this footprint, did you have a smoke detector put in the garage when you had your washer and dryer put in? Dryer fires, something in the attic. So yeah, if something goes off in the attic, you'll hear it. If something goes off in the basement, you'll hear it, and you have more opportunity to get out of your home.
Well, and also, just so you'll know, we have the best value anywhere. I mean, everybody knows First Alert. You can securely and comfortably have peace of mind knowing, hey, you know what? I've got the name when it comes to fire protection, but we do have the best value. Certainly, you can find these elsewhere. You're not going to find this set. And also, here's another thing I found out interesting when I was preparing for this. Make sure it's a 10-year battery life.
Right.
There's a lot of these little micros that are out there, and yet they're not 10 years. This you get a decade later. Can you imagine? You get this, you put it out within the next couple days, and then for the next decade, you don't even have to think about your fire alerting system. It's just there doing its job. And you get 3, so that's awesome. If you just say, well, I'm on a budget, put them both in the hallways, upstairs, downstairs. You know, obviously they want to have many more places, but sometimes you think, well, I got that old broken one, I'm just not going to replace it. I've got one downstairs, that's fine. It's not. So it's nice to be able to get a 3-pack like we have. Please notice our flex pay though. It's $14 to get this home. I don't think this is a, you know, there's wants and there's needs. You know, oh, I want something, but we need to have this because it truly could save your life or save the life of someone you love.
And that's just it. And that's why it's already in your home right now.
Yeah,
but how long has it been there? Did it come with the condo you bought? Did it come with the home you purchased? And you've been replacing the battery year after year after year. Because remember, even after 10 years, these aren't as effective. We can replace the batteries all the time, but if the sensor is not detecting the smoke, we're not protected. Sure. And as we've talked about, these are larger. They're, you know, kind of an eyesore.
But
we
they're
try
really
to hide
ugly.
them. And that's why that one decorating show painted them out. That's why they've made them smaller, so they're less obtrusive. We can have
You
many
wouldn't even
in a
hardly
hallway.
notice it.
And that's just it. We don't want to notice them. We, like right now, where's the one in your house? You don't care. But when it goes off, you want to know that it is a legit emergency. And that's why that upgrade, it's a simple.
How do you install it, by the way?
Installation, we give you everything that you need, from whether the screws that you want to put it in on the wall, or maybe it's even hook and loop, because it is nice and lightweight. You can just put it up there on the wall. But once you have it up, like she's attaching it right now, she won't have to worry about it till 2029. That is peace of mind of knowing she's protected, the kids are protected, the pets, the valuables in your home. And realize they're individually packaged. So actually I sent a set out to my sister. She used 2 of them. She actually inherited grandma's house, which we're like, oh great, grandma's house. It's great, we got grandma's house. But the smoke detectors probably had not been replaced since grandma had moved in 40 years ago.
Wow.
Because we see them on the wall, we think, oh, they're good. They're not as good. So that's why she upgraded. And the other one that she got, we gave it to my mom. So she could put it out in the garage, because they don't require smoke detectors in the garage. Yet, that's where her washer and dryer is.
Right.
So what
That
does mom
makes
do?
sense.
She runs the dryer at night and goes to bed, wake up with dry clothes.
Right.
Dryer fires. Right. So if she hears, she'll be like, what is that? That's not the TV.
Well,
and wake up, and the earlier you
I
learn,
gotta explain something else too. Also too, a lot of people are doing, you know, you've the short-term rentals, all that kind of stuff. You really must have these in those to protect the people who are staying with you.
Exactly.
And so, but you don't want to have to baby it all the time. And you don't want it to go off erroneously if someone's staying in your place. So this would be perfect for that, because once you set it up, you've got 10 years before you have to worry about it
And
again.
that's why more cities are even requiring the 10-year battery life, because it's not always an option, but now because batteries have gotten better, and that's why First Alert can offer, that's why we have this great value. The cities want to make sure, because it happens. Like, you're in bed right now, you're gonna wake up at 3 in the morning, it's like, oh, it's chirping, what do? We knock it off the wall, we're like,
Or how many of yours are just literally, the flap is still open?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, shoot, I don't have that one specific dumb battery.
Right.
The 9-volt. So you just, it's like 10
Leave it
years
open,
later,
right?
it's still flopped open on your ceiling.
And the thing is, you're doing yourself and your family a disservice. That's why that statistic about 3 out of 5 fatalities are basically because of a faulty smoke alarm, just not having that battery replaced. And that's why they're requiring the 10-year battery life. Get it home. Actually, don't even tell the family you've upgraded them. Right. I've set them up in my mom's house just to know that I had the peace of mind that she was protected. They've made them smaller so we can live with them. People have thought these were speakers. They thought they were, you know, just a little security camera, but it does that much more. This is your photoelectric cell that is more accurate. It's all the way around.
No kidding.
And so whether it's steam, whether it's smoke, it knows that you.
It knows the difference, right? Here's something. I'll tell you a story, and it's actually super pertinent. My dad's wife, she had a daughter, and they had a house fire, and she had 2 boys in the house, and she ran out, and the 2 boys were upstairs, and they did not have smoke alarms, and unfortunately they passed away. They were asphyxiated because of the smoke, and it was the smoke that did it. It wasn't the burning of the fire, and so you've got to have that, and that's a horrible story, and it's sad as all get out. You don't want children to die simply because you didn't have the time to get them out, or they didn't know to get out on time because they were upstairs in their room.
And that's literally where the First Alert name comes from. You want to be alerted because you can get up, whether it's the kids waking up and getting the parents and the kids and everyone out, or vice versa. If someone is alerted to that danger, actually we have friends here who've recently purchased boats. They put these on boats, in the RVs, because they want to be safe. We all want to be safe. I mean, this little purchase, think of it this way. So it comes out to about $23 a piece, which is great value. Over 10 years, it's $2.30 a year for peace of mind.
And it could save your life.
And that's just it. Save your life, protect your values, protect you. And that's really where you're investing in First Alert. You're investing in their latest technology. Because you go out and buy these, but guess what you're gonna be doing? You're gonna be buying this over 10 years. Right. And remember, if you've already have one of these on your wall, which all of us do because it is required, are they yellowing? Have they been painted over? How effective are those older, bigger smoke alarms? Upgrade. And realize we do have a great value on it, because you'll look online and you'll see others, but they might not have the 10-year battery life. They might not even be from First Alert. But that's where you're getting great peace of mind.
Sylvia in New York, she wrote a review, because it's 5 customer pack, right? She said, very happy with the 3-pack, easy to use, inconspicuous, and no battery changes. And it's all in caps. So that's, you know, again, we have all the great intentions of putting it up there, and the first time you have to change the battery, you don't have a dumb 9-volt in your drawer, we don't do it. And then years can go by, and you're like, I never replaced that battery, because we don't think about it. This is really, you just set it up, and then that's the last thing you have to worry about now, you know?
It's funny, you think about the battery replacement. You forget about the 9-volt. If it was a remote control battery that we use all the time.
All over it. You got a pack of AA's or AAA's in your drawer.
You're good.
This big.
You're set.
Yeah, the remote. Yeah, because we use the remote We do. We sort of think, oh, I don't need it. It's never going to happen. And unfortunately, it does. The statistics are not great when it comes to having a fire in your home. This is easy, guys. We have 5 flex tonight. You're only spending $14. But imagine if it did save the family, or save a life, or save a loved one. That is worth its weight in gold, much more than a flex pay. Also, too, get them at home, set them all up. You've got until the end of January. Not sure why you'd send them back, but if you want to, you still can, because we're in our extended return policy period right now. So do this for you. Do this for someone you love. I love the fact you replaced your mom's and your grandma's old house. You replaced all of those, because it's easy to do. I love the idea it's just Velcro. If you want to pick stick and loop up there, don't even have to work with screws if you don't want to, because they're so lightweight.
And the thing is, Mom didn't know I did it, but I have the peace of mind. She's not getting on a ladder. She's not taking the broomstick out.
Good point.
And it's really just peace of mind. And
or if you ever stood over yours and had to fan it to get it to stop because it falsely went off because you were cooking in the kitchen.
But I've been there. I was like,
you're fanning it away. And that's also one that's gone is the older models, because they're not as sensitive as this one is.
Exactly, and that's just it. We don't want to become nose blind or ear blind to when it goes off. It's like, oh, just ignore it. It's the smoke detector. No, when you hear 85 decibels, get up, get out, and protect yourself, and enjoy this investment.
I like how they mimicked a hotel alert. That's exactly that. Hotel alert goes to that range of sound.
And that's just it. That sweeping tone is really important, because First Alert did the research, because, you know, Dad might have been able to hear earlier at 9 years, but then 10 years later, it's
You can't hear certain tones. All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you.
It's an important item. All right, let me tell you how you can save $20 on us. Actually, you can spend $20 on us. You get our HSN card. If you do that right now, whatever you shop with for that first item, we're gonna give you 20 bucks to go towards that. That's pretty awesome. To me, that's like going to the grocery store and the cashier hands you a $20 bill and says, oh, hey, by the way, go back in the store and buy something on us. And you'd be like, really, are you kidding me? Like, wouldn't that be the greatest day ever if that happened? Well, that's exactly what happens when you apply for our card. The cool part about it is, though,